Okay, good afternoon. The National Party annual conference wrapped up yesterday. It was a chance to reiterate the government's priorities for this term, in particular our economic growth agenda. New Zealand has had a number of setbacks over the past few years: the domestic recession, the global financial crisis, and the emotional and financial impacts of the Canterbury earthquakes. As I said yesterday, the financial crisis in Europe won't resolve itself overnight. New Zealand will continue to feel the effects of it for quite some years to come. We have a number of opportunities as a country, and the government will be doing everything it can to take advantage of those opportunities. And as our economy recovers from the debt-fueled consumption boom of the 2000s, it's a top priority for us to continue to responsibly manage our finances and to build a stronger foundation for growth in uncertain times. We are steadily getting the books back into shape. We're seeing the economy rise to a moderate strength over the past year despite the lumpy global outlook. Over the last year, the economy grew 2.4%, which is one of the highest growth rates in the OECD over that period. Given events overseas, we're likely to see fluctuations in growth into the future, but the New Zealand economy is growing and it's gaining strength. As I've said before, there's no silver bullet for economic growth, more jobs and higher wages that New Zealanders want. That's why we've undertaken a number of areas of reform, including the tax system, planning and labour laws, investment in ultra-fast broadband and other infrastructure. We are well positioned, however, to capitalise on the growing middle class in Asia, where people are starting to demand the services we can provide: technical expertise, more milk than protein, and better quality education. We're encouraging oil and gas exploration because that's an area that's got big development opportunities for this country. Oil is already our fourth largest export. Total exports from the resources sector were valued at $3.3 billion in 2019. Each year about $400 million is earned in royalties and $300 million in company tax are collected from oil and gas. This is just a small portion of the potential that the sector could deliver. Advice to ministers show that future royalty income from known oil and gas reserves could be $3.2 billion, and this could rise to nearly $13 billion with a 50% increase in explorations. The responsible and well-managed development of the country's oil and gas and mineral resources has the potential to create additional skilled jobs and contribute to increasing New Zealand's attractiveness as a place people want to live or return to. We're undertaking a number of initiatives in this area, including the review of the Crown Minerals Act and the EEZ and Continental Shelf Bill, and the introduction of the Block Office Scheme. Growing our economy means focusing on areas of real growth: savings, exports and productive investment. It means we can reduce our reliance on borrowing from overseas lenders. The government share offer program gives New Zealanders an avenue for investment while also generating between $5 and $7 billion in proceeds. The four aspects of the offer program are announced yesterday: the retail syndicate, the $1,000 minimum application, the $2,000 guaranteed allocation, and the loyalty scheme will help make it as easy as possible for New Zealanders to take part of the program. Next Tuesday, I'll be leading a parliamentary delegation to Samoa to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Friendship. Samoa is the only country in the world in which New Zealand has a formal friendship treaty. It is the cornerstone of our relationship and underscores our deep and close ties with that country. While in Samoa, I'll be meeting Prime Minister Tuilaepa and members of the Cabinet, and we'll be discussing regional issues of mutual interest ahead of this year's Pacific Islands Forum. I'll also be visiting Patasi Village and speaking at the event of the Robert Louis Stevenson Museum, where the Treaty of Friendship was signed in 1962. Also of note is Zimbabwe's Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai will visit New Zealand this week. Mr Tsvangirai has led pressure for democratic change and been a key opposition figure in Zimbabwe politics. In 2008, his party, the Movement for Democratic Change, entered into a power-sharing deal with the party of President Robert Mugabe. Mr Tsvangirai has been at the forefront of efforts to open up democracy in Zimbabwe, and when he visits on Wednesday, we'll discuss the situation in Zimbabwe, including work on a new constitution and the outlook for the next elections. In 2002, New Zealand imposed targeted bilateral sanctions on Zimbabwe in protest at the Mugabe regime's human rights abuses, and the visit will also allow us to consider how we might rebuild the bilateral relationship in the right political environment.